Hi, I'm Lisa Little, owner and cake designer at Little Bake Shop. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make cake pops. Firstly, I'm making, I just have some leftover cake here. So I've got a 9-inch round that I had left over. I'm going to be doing it in the KitchenAid. So I've got my mixing bowl, and I'm going to be using the paddle attachment. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our cake, and we're just going to break it up and put it into the mixing bowl. There we go. Okay, so now we have the cake in here. What we want to do is add the paddle attachment to the mixer. And we want to put it on low to medium until we get a lot of crumbs. Okay. So as you can see, we've got small crumbs here. And what we're going to need is our buttercream. So go grab your buttercream. Okay, so now I have my buttercream. And what I'm going to do is just add some buttercream to the mixture until we get a nice, like, gooey consistency. Okay, so it's pretty gooey. I want to add a little bit more just because buttercream tastes good. You don't want it to be runny, so I'm just going to add a little bit more just to make it a bit moister. Okay, so I think this is a nice consistency to roll. It's almost like a truffle kind of consistency that you want. Okay, well, while my mixer was mixing, I grabbed a cookie sheet and I just lined it with some wax paper. This will prevent the balls from sticking once we refrigerate them. I'm going to use an ice cream scoop with an easy release. That way all the balls are the exact same size. Okay, so now we're ready to make some balls. What we're going to do is grab some dough, pack it down inside, take off the excess if you have too much, and then just pop it out. And then start rolling it into a ball. You want to try and make it as round and as smooth as possible because they're going to harden in the fridge, and how we create them now and how they look now is how they're going to be at the end. Plus, if it's really smooth and nice and round, it'll be easier to coat in chocolate later. Alright, that looks pretty good. Nice round ball. Just put it on your baking sheet. I'm going to finish this up and we'll see where we go. Okay, so now all my cake pops are rolled. I just made a few of them. So what we're going to do is put them in the fridge for about half an hour to chill. Alright, now that our cake pops are in the fridge getting cold, I'm just going to chop some chocolate up. You want a good tasting chocolate. I'm using a dark chocolate, but you can use chocolate chips or you can use chocolate bars, anything that melts and that tastes really good. Okay, so I just got a medium-sized pot and I filled it up with a little bit of water. I'm just going to bring that to a boil and then turn it down to a simmer because I just want to keep it warm. And I have in here my pot filled with chopped chocolate, Once this is hot enough, I'll put this on here and I'll start to melt the chocolate. I don't have an actual double boiler, but if you do, you can use that. But this works just as well. Okay, so my water is boiling. I'm just going to turn that down to low and put my chocolate on top. Now you want to make sure that that there's no water in your chocolate bowl, and you want to keep stirring your chocolate all the time, otherwise your chocolate will burn. Just don't stop stirring it. Okay, so the chocolate is all melted. There's no lumps and it's nice and runny. So now we can take out our cake pops, our balls, and add in some lollipop sticks. Okay, so here I got some lollipop sticks. These ones are just 4 inches, so it's 10 centimeters long. And what you're going to do is you're going to dip the end, like this, into the chocolate, and then poke it into your cake ball. You want to do that with all of them. Okay, so this is my last one. And now we're just going to stick these into the fridge for a couple minutes just to make sure that the chocolate's really hard, and then we can coat them entirely. Okay, so my cake pops are still in the fridge, but this is a great opportunity to cover my foam. Now you can use styrofoam, or I like using these green things. You can buy them at your local craft store and you stick flowers in them. I'm just going to wrap them up in saran wrap, and that way they don't get on anything. Because once we dip our cake balls into chocolate, we need to have them upright, and this is you just poke them into here. If you're presenting these cake pops on a table, or if you're not wrapping them in cellophane, another really great idea is to grab some wrapping paper. You can get all different kinds. You can even get them at the dollar store. And you just wrap the block in wrapping paper, and you just stick all your cake pops in there, and it creates a really nice presentation on your table. Alright, it's the fun part. We get to dip our cake balls into the chocolate. So what you're going to do is take your pot, tilt it over, and just rotate your cake ball into the chocolate. Make sure you get to the underneath part as well. Lift up and start rolling. By doing this, you keep the chocolate from staying in one spot and creating any lines, and you'll still be able to, you won't get as many drips. You don't want any drips onto your foam. There we go. Once all the drips are off, just press it into your foam. Just like that. Alright, our cake pops are nice and cold. I finished them all and they're in the fridge. I took them out and they look fabulous. I'll show you one up and close. Go nice and smooth they are. They're pretty round. Now it's time to decorate them.